Ah, record, hein. Puis il va sur la fenêtre.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Is it working?
I think it's working.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Hey, text A-Track to see if it's working.
We live. Yes. Hello, Chromeo. All right. Cool.
Working?
People are here.
Nice. Cool. Ah.
All right, Funk Lords.
Huh?
All right, Funk Lords.
All right, kids. Wait, what are they saying? Okay. Buenas tardes. All right, let's get to work.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Cool. All right, that was fun. Well, we are Chromeo the Funk Lords.
I think you know that.
They know that?
I think so.
Okay. And this is our first production tutorial here on. It's actually our first time on Twitch.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna hang out for like an hour, maybe a little more, an hour and a half with you guys. What are they saying? Thanks, guys. Yeah, welcome. Thank you, DJ DLG. Thank you. All right. So we are going to walk you through the production of two of our songs from the EP, Clorox Wipe and 6 Feet Away.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing we're going to show you is the production software we use and the synths we use, and right?
Everybody can hear that?
Uh-huh. Okay. So, actually, I'm going to get my phone to make sure. If there's an emergency, I get a call. Okay. Cool. So, I'm going to put this here. All right. So, as you can see, this here, I guess, I don't know how to...
No, it's the other side.
Oh, really?
Well, it's on my side.
I see. Okay, so this here,
Yeah.
where? Let me see if it works.
There's a latency.
I know. Wait, this. There we go. Okay, cool. So that is called Cubase. And we use Cubase because, as some of you may know, we used to use Cakewalk back when we had a PC. We used Cakewalk
6.0.
6.0 from 1997. Right?
Yeah.
And we used to run all our MIDI on there. And
Still have the Pentium. Maybe
yes.
I'll show it to you someday.
Yeah, we
Maybe-
should
maybe
actually
now.
we should do one. We should do a production tutorial on the Pentium. So
It's not good.
no,
Not
it's not gonna work. Okay,
So
so
to do a screenshot of the screen.
oh wow. So we're gonna walk you through how we went and produced Clorox Wipe, and I think one of the principles that we want to discuss in these production sessions is that you really don't need that many sounds. When we opened like our old sessions from Fancy Footwork and even White Women and Business Casual, there's never more than like 10 tracks of music.
Mm-hmm.
On the last album, we worked with a lot of other producers and all the songs were like co-productions. So we were passing sessions back and forth and the sessions were massive, with tons of layers and stuff. And that was really cool for us because we could learn how to achieve kind of a bigger, more, challenging sound, challenging for us at least. But on this EP, we really went back to like the core principles of Chromeo, and there's no more, I would say, than 10, 15 tracks of music per song maximum, and we're going to kind of show you how that works. I think our philosophy is you don't need to stack 1 million sounds on top of each other. Just get the right ones.
Less is better.
Less is better.
Start with the right sound and you won't need to compensate for anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people work with sort of additive correction
Yeah.
to sounds. You know, you start off with a medium sound. You get too lazy to replace it. You just start stacking on top and on top and on top until you reach something you like. But if you start with one element that's good from the beginning,
And you make sure it's right.
and you make sure it's right, then you don't have to. You end up wasting time. You think it's gonna be time consuming to find another sound instead of fixing it, but it ends up being the complete opposite.
Words from P Thug. So, let's see. So we're going to start with the basic loop from Clorox wipe. Can you guys hear this okay? I'm going to look in the comments right now, in the chat. Somebody says bigger screen would be good. We will make a bigger production screen. You want to make it bigger now?
Yeah.
But it's going to cut you off. All right, let's try it. If you wanted a bigger screen, we'll give you a bigger screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's cool. Nice. Okay, so wait, let me see something. Okay, cool. So here we go. That's the main loop of the song.
Alright.
Cool?
You guys don't like me.
Oh shit.
But I'm not even gonna say.
Well, here. There we go.
Right.
So, we'll go through all the sounds and we'll show you how we did it. So this very cheap interface is Cubase. And,
Well,
sorry.
let's be clear. We made it look cheap.
Yes.
Cubase is good.
Cubase is super advanced.
Cubase is really advanced.
Yeah.
It's modern. It looks great. We purposely chose this program because we wanted it to visually look as cheap as our Cakewalk, because visually we were a bit stuck with things.
We don't like things to look too modern and too complicated.
Yes.
We want it to look like a PC from 1996. So we
Yes.
changed all the colors to make it look really cheapo and easy to understand.
So,
All right.
yeah, so we're not saying Cubase is a cheap looking program. It's just so customizable that you can make it look however you want.
Okay.
We prefer it like that.
Wait, what are they saying? All right. Yeah, but the music sounds a bit louder from the right side of the speakers. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, because
Oh, because the camera is on the right side of the speaker. Nice. Okay, so. All right, well, we'll work on that for the next one.
yeah.
All right, here we go, kids. So we got this groove. I just feel like listening to it. All right, so what do we got in there? Let's get into it, right?
Yeah.
So let's go into the drums first.
Make it bigger.
Simple. Now, what we were talking about before. Some people have 17 kicks in their sessions. How many do we have? One. There's one kick in there. There's
Solo
one
kick.
snare in there.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. One kick, one snare. Do we put any processing on the kick? Let's have a look.
A little bit.
One compressor, one EQ. That's it. Everything else is some sucker shit. You don't need it. Snare processing?
No EQ.
EQ, no EQ. Obviously, I'm lying a little bit because the mix engineer will add a little bit of sauce, but you don't the sound needs to sound right from the production standpoint, right?
Yeah,
or
but
from the
that's-
production step.
The mixing is finessing. Whatever you heard on Instagram the first week we put this out was exactly out of the
that.
computer.
True.
Exactly what we were listening to right now.
So, and then we put a drum tracks clap. So let's get into the drum tracks real quick. So, now the drum tracks is, I would say, one of our go-to drum machines since the first
Yeah.
album. And P, do you want to hit it real quick?
You can tune on the drum tracks. You can tune the sounds.
Yeah. You could say the drum tracks is like a poor man's Lindrum. We have a Lindrum as well,
Yeah.
but we've been demoing songs with the drum tracks since what?
This
Since
is
the first album.
Yeah.
So we just love
Plus,
it.
it has MIDI. It's just easier.
Yeah. So we always use a layer of drum tracks. In this case,
So
we
let's
put the
match up
clack and the clap and the snare. So look, this is the MIDI. That's it. Snare and clap, and then we just had the snare tuned up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. And then there you go. That's it. All right. So when you put those three, and we had this in MIDI like this. You see, that's the MIDI for it. Very simple. And then when you add the three together, you've got your kick, snare, and drum tracks clapped. There you go. That's it. Simple. Then you're going to have a little hi-hat action. And we added a second hi-hat layer here. That's basically all the drums on this song,
Yeah.
right? That's it. One thing maybe we should answer is some people might wonder where we get those sounds, like the kick and the snare
yeah.
sounds. So they're samples
On this song specifically,
on the song
they're
specifically.
samples.
Right.
We spent a lot of our time as, adolescents, teenagers collecting records. We were making, rap beats in the 90s, and that's how we sort of, grew up making music, sampling records, finding drum breaks on records, and then sampling them, chopping them up.
Yep.
And that's how we still do it.
So we still have all these drum sounds, right?
That and a combination of drum machines that we added later on when we started Chromeo. But
So what you're saying, P, is that a lot of the snares and the kicks that you have are still remnants from when we used to chop drums up.
well,
right? Or you still do it, right?
This is new. This doesn't date from back then.
But it's from a record, right?
This, yeah.
Chopped
This
up
was
and sampled.
sampled and brought into the demo right away.
Do we use a lot of sample packs, a la Splice and stuff like
Not
that?
much, no.
Not really.
For some random sounds that aren't sampleable, like last week we were looking for
a triangle.
a triangle. It's
Yeah.
really hard to find a sample of a clean triangle without static if you want some clean production. So, a Splice and all the packs are good for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But otherwise, we just sample a lot of drum sounds. Actually, up until the last album, we still had a little MPC, and we used to run the MPC on
well,
MIDI.
big MPC too.
Right. Okay, so we got our drums. Kick, snare, drum hats, drum tracks, clap, hi-hats. That's it. Let's add the bass.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is from the P6. Can they
Prophet
see
6.
it? Can they see it up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can, right? Maybe I can. Should I turn this? No.
Go to the other screen.
You.
It's just delayed. We can tell right
Oh, yeah,
what's
there you
happening
go.
Here.
Nice. Cool.
So I guess people can see that.
Yeah.
Not really.
Kinda, sorta. There we go.
There you go. Here's the P6.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that synth.
This is we're very picky with new synths, with modern synths. As you can tell, everything here predates 1985, except for the Prophet 6 by Dave Smith, which is, sequential circuit modernized. Dave Smith, it was the inventor of sequential circuits. Anyways, so this synth is really incredible. We tried so many modern synths, and this one really stuck. It's 100% analog. It sounds incredible. It has all the Prophet 5 original patches on it, and then it's got more functions. And it's truly like every synth company says, we combined, old technology and analog, and we made it modern, so you have more functionality. Yes and no. This is the first synth that really combines the true analog.
We love Dave Smith.
Yeah, warm sound with modern functionalities.
So here's the bass. Now, we want to show you guys how old school. And we use the Prophet 6 for bass a lot. And We use it for bass sounds a lot, and because it does have a bit of a modern punch to it.
Well, it has an immediate sort of, round, low end that sometimes you have to work a bit on old stuff.
Yeah, it's a little less messy.
It's tight.
Yes.
It's tight. The oscillators are tighter than a Prophet 5, let's say, where you have to catch it at the right time of the day to get a punchy sound.
Right.
That's the beauty of working with those things. But
So we write the bass on MIDI. Well, sometimes P will play it live. Sometimes
Yeah.
we'll write it.
Yeah.
But usually this is a nice way for us because we're not amazing players. Like on a live, we're not like, super shredders. So sometimes we like to, if the part is really kind of like syncopated and we want to get those 16th notes really tight, we'll just write it in MIDI. Very old school way of doing it. And we've got our old screen that's like, basically looks like our old cakewalk. And you got your bass line here, sorry. That's the MIDI right here. No. All right. And that's the recorded version, so here we are. Okay. Should we put the camera angle back?
yeah, kind of like the attention on the Prophet 6.
Nice. Does that look cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Should we go to the other screen real quick? See if everyone's happy. Make sure you guys are happy. There you go. What are they saying?
Where do those velocities come from? Yeah, that's a good question. The velocities we a lot of drums we program velocities like crazy.
Yeah.
Especially hi-hats.
And
kicks,
this, I think they meant where the velocities come from down here, maybe? Here?
Yeah, no, those velocities are just by playing. I played that bass line and quantized it, so there's different velocities on each note.
Okay.
But yeah, we do use velocity a lot.
Super important for pocket and groove and stuff.
A lot for drums.
Cool. So
there's rarely
I'm sorry.
there's rarely the thing with velocity is there's rarely velocity capability on old synths, so it doesn't matter. If you were referring to what you saw on the screen, those velocities come from my fingers playing that bass line. It wasn't intentional.
What VSTs we use? None.
None.
That's why we're here. All right, so let's go. Let's keep going. What we want to try to show you guys is like this very minimalistic approach and very simple approach. I know it's easy to say because we got all this analog gear, but that's kind of it's always been our thing. We just use analog, mostly analog stuff. Very little VSTs, very little effects. Like look at this bass line, for instance, right? What's on there? That's a compressor, 2 little EQs. Thank you, goodbye.
That's it.
Already sounds groovy. Okay, so now let's add the chords. Okay. So what is that sound, P?
That's the Jupiter 8.
Jupiter 8. Oh, there we have it right here. Okay.
So basically, this part was played live.
No MIDI.
No MIDI.
You just played it.
Yeah, the only thing that's MIDI on this is the turnaround,
Right.
Which there's there's a filter automation on that part, so I wanted to grab that. I can't obviously do that with my 2 fingers.
All right.
Playing
And like,
the chords. So
let's check out the effects. Sorry, P, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah.
So H delay, that's it. A little bit of EQ. Do we need chorus and God knows what OTT and any kind of... Nah, it sounds great the way it is. Look. Jupiter and bass together. Boom. The kick's not doing anything. Snare. If your sounds are right, it's already groovy. That's it. And then P, you added this little you added this little Prophet 5 thing, right? Which goes like this. Yep. So
that's playing MIDI right now.
Yep. Let's go. Let's look at it. Look how dope that sounds, by the way.
That's it.
That's it. And I really like the way. So this also we should say this is a demo that P had started in my absence, and I came up and edited it and sort of did the arrangement and stuff. But this is something that you really did by yourself, as opposed to 6 Feet Away, which we really did together, right? But this was really you, and I thought it was really dope the way the two synths, the Prophet 5 and the Jupiter, sort of weave in together. And you can't really tell which one does what.
Like that. Yeah. Originally, that bass line, that's what I wanted to keep the MIDI, but the bass line was played on the same sound on the P5. There was the clavinet sound, which was doing the bass line.
But it wasn't.
And then Dave was like, we need an actual, like, you know,
beefier bass.
A beefier bass, because that sound was a bit, you know.
Yeah.
It was a bit thin, so
it's missing low end. It was missing low end.
So we took the MIDI from the bass on the P5 out and then used it for the P6 bass.
Right. So, all right. So basically we have, how many sounds do we have so far? We have the P6 bass, the Jupiter 8, the P5. That's 3 sounds, and then just drums. Then we have the little Moog thing that goes bit bit dee dee dee. That little thing, which I think is the catchiest part of the song. And check it out. There's barely any effects on it. Again, just
reverb is really.
We only use one reverb.
Yeah.
The Valhalla Vintage. It's nice. I don't know. We usually put it on Bright Hall, like little filtering action on it, and that's it. It ain't that deep, and so. That's all there is for synths right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Valhalla
now
VSTs are the GOAT. Yes, they are.
Which ones, Pete?
Valhalla VSTs.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay, so here's how it sounds when you have all the synth parts together. I'm actually going to take the drums out. Another trick we like when it comes to reverb, and actually we got this from the late great Philippe Zadar, who mixed 2 of our albums, is that some sounds stay dry, bone dry, and some sounds stay really wet. And so if we're going to put like a big Valhalla reverb on one sound, we'll keep the other one really dry and maybe pan them in opposite directions to create a contrast. And then, I'm sorry, what is it?
I mean, somebody's like, how to mix like Chromeo by 150K now on gear and press record.
That's right. That's all right.
I guess I'll be going to buying about 20 cents. I mean, you know.
I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. We started with 3 cents. Although, I'll tell you honestly, because that's actually not really true. When we did Needy Girl, we had $700 worth of synths.
Yeah.
And we did Needy Girl. We did Needy Girl with one
Nord and one...
This little Nord over there. And one sequential circuit 6-track.
6-track.
And drums from an S950.
Yeah.
And a guitar. And a Korg M1, which at the time nobody wanted it. I don't think anybody still wants it anymore. And that's probably what was. So it's not really. It's just I don't think that's true. I mean, you know, obviously now we've been doing this for 15 years, so we amassed a lot of gear.
Yeah, we've accumulated stuff, but nobody went out with a huge, you know, paycheck and went like, I want all of this because
we started small. And here's the thing: even with 3 analog synths or 2 analog synths, you can have something hot because, like, as you can see on this session, there's only 5 tracks of music, if anything.
For this, all we really needed was the Prophet and the Prophet 5 and the Prophet 6.
Right.
the Jupiter sound, you know.
It's nice.
You could do that on a Prophet 5.
Could have done it with a Juno.
Exactly. You take a Prophet 5, you double it,
Right.
one left, one right, 2 different takes, and you get something very close to the Jupiter 8, which is, you know, something that we used to do before we could afford a Jupiter 8, obviously.
Yeah. All right, cool. If you could suggest one synth for beginners, what would it be?
Juno 106. We get that question all the time.
Juno. Right. What did they say? How do you feel about the Arturia remakes on the other?
I love them. Love the Arturia remakes.
I don't know anything about them,
Yeah.
but that's just not my world.
Yeah, they're great.
Cool.
They're great. You know.
All right, are we digressing? Should we go back to the lesson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're here for their questions.
Very good questions. It's
Yeah.
true. All right. So when you pan left right, do you use a stereo verb spread out, or just
other
move verb on one
approach.
side, dry, or the other? Yeah, whatever. Mono verb on one side. No, we don't even care that much. Like,
The verb is really minimal for us.
yeah,
It's
okay.
not
We
about
use,
the verb.
sometimes we've never printed a reverb in our lives, and sometimes like we'll pan the synth, the reverb stays kind of weirdly stereo, and then on the mix we try to do something different. But I don't know, it's not that deep. Just think about like back in the day, like when they were doing everything live on like an SSL or a Neve board, it wasn't that precise. Like I've seen Zadar mix our records, like he doesn't even know where the reverbs are. He feels it and it sounds good and it's like a big sauce. So we try to not get too deep in the analysis and just go for the feeling of it as the whole, because it just has to groove. You know, I just put the kick in, it already grooves, I find. All right, one last thing that we added was the guitar. So these are stereo guitars played by P. Solo them. One pan hard left, one pan hard right. Are they out of tune? Yes, they are. Did we keep it? Yes, we did. So we'll show you our guitar chain. We only use 2 guitars. Either it's a Strat or it's a Les Paul. That's it. If we want a thin sound, it's this. If we want a thicker sound, it's that. We have other guitars, but for recording, it's one or the other. That's it. We don't make it too complicated. We go
We're not really like the crazy guitar collector tone searcher guys.
Well, these have great tone.
Yeah, 2 guitars, that's all we need. We don't have, 137 collector guitars back there. That's all we need.
All right. So when we go direct in on the guitar, what do we go through the API? Am I right, Pete?
Yeah, the guitar chain is pretty easy. It's going through an API 3124 straight into the apogee.
Right.
And then, as you can see,
It's pure. There's nothing there.
yeah,
So, and then our chain is little compression.
slight,
And
the guitar amp.
as you can see, we didn't even touch
No,
the EQ. That means when the sound is good, who cares? Sometimes we'll tweak the EQ a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And sometimes we'll do a little bit,
But we've never spent hours trying to find tone.
well, we did it on some guitar solos.
Yeah, some guitar
but for this
solos,
shit, no.
but,
Right? So that's 2 stereos.
It's
and
like synths, the pickups and the guitar itself will give you the sound. So
yeah. I think you were here. And then we've got the part, which is... Can they see me? Oh, wait.
yeah.
Can they see me here?
Yeah.
Okay. So the part...
Direct in, ha ha ha, very funny.
What did they say?
Somebody's like, they said direct in, lol.
As opposed to what?
A
Oh.
little sexual. And
Oh. Sheesh. Quarantine got me. I forgot about all that. All right, so. Actually, you do a very ill move. Can they see the neck? Oh, they
J'adore ce que
can't
vous
see.
faites, un peu plus de chansons en français, ça fait pas de mal.
Wait, I just realized they can't see anything. So I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
They can't see the neck. So wait. So no need for amp warmth. You do need amp warmth, but we were too lazy on this one. I mean, we have amps on the other side that we always use.
When you have so much warmth on the synths, the guitar.
Yeah. Okay, so I moved so you can see the fretboard. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Da, 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 da. Guitar into the move filter, please. We can do that. All right, cool. So very easy guitar part. Systematically, when there's kids replaying our songs on Instagram or on YouTube, they play the guitar better than us. But here's the part. And then you did this shit. I love that. How would you call it? That's like a Ray Parker style funk guitar thing.
It's the funk, like,
right?
triad.
Right. I like this move right here. Because I would have done this. But you did this.
Yeah.
So this note comes in and does this beautiful
it's like
chord.
a funk move, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Instead, I would have done this. Which is the Nile Rodgers thing.
Yeah.
But you went...
It's all about listening to all the other voicings of everything that's playing. If your keyboards are doing something, you try to compensate with interesting voicings on the guitar.
All right, cool. So that's the guitar part, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, we're done. That's it. Look. Guitar, mute, boom, solo the two guitars, left, right, pan. That's a really good trick to get a funk feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pan, left, right, and then it kind of just, I don't know, has more body. I love it. So, uh-huh. That's the whole song. And then we have the arrangement that's here. On top, we usually, we have the vocals. Because we usually, when we're not, we go in and track it, and then we'll put the vocals back in the session. When we track on Pro Tools, and then we'll bounce the vocals and put them back in the session.
Production, production is all in Cubase, and then
right.
tracking vocals is on Pro Tools.
And so here we go. Only thing we added, I'm just going to unsolo things so we can. Only thing we added to kind of give it a little spice here and there is the toms and the crashes. That's it. Oh yeah, a little shaker in the chorus. Surface, cause that don't make me nervous. Effective. Be your man, I'm just your disinfectant. If I could reincarnate tonight, I would be a Clorox wipe. Cause I know in this climate, you might finally want me in your life. I'll be a Clorox wipe. I'll be a Clorox wipe. What do they say?
Noah Lima is asking, when it comes to making a track from scratch, what do you guys start with? Drums, bass, chords, and melody?
Depends.
Anything
right?
goes.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
There's tracks we started with drum ideas. There's tracks we started with me humming something.
Yeah.
There's tracks where I came in and you had the whole thing and I added 3 sounds. There's
It
tracks
really
that
depends.
started with a voice note. There's tracks that started with like
with a bass line.
With a bass line.
Some tracks are just starting with chords.
Yeah.
Depends.
Depends.
Whatever comes first, and then you sort of, play around that.
Yeah, but that's really all there is in this one. So how many tracks of music do we have? 1, 2. Let's not even count the drums. We have of music. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the guitar on the break, and that's it. There's 1 sound effect.
6 because the guitar is doubled, so
yeah,
6 tracks.
That's it. That's really it. Simple. All right. So that was Clorox White.
Wind it, you rock down, wipe you down, let me wipe you down, so down, so let me wipe you down.
Oh yeah, we added 1 track, 1 clap. I'm sorry, at the very end. How many effects? 0. It had reverb already in it. But like there's subtle things, like for instance, look, we put 2 hi-hats and they sort of like, they complement each other. It's very subtle, but you kind of hear them in there. And we kept all the noise. And the kicks got a lot of noise too.
Kano clap forever.
This has to groove. If you can dance to the drums and the bass line, then you know you've got a funk song. I could have just. That's it. That's all you need. Woo! That's it. That's all you have. So that was Clorox Wipe. Shall we move on to 6 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. So I'll let you close this Cubase Pro session, and we will move on. And I'll see if there's questions in the meantime that I can answer. Focus on bass and drums first. I want to take production lessons with you cats. Well, guess what? We're going to give you some every week. That bass is good, dirty, love it. Wipe. Is that a Yamaha DX5 for the TalkBox P? It's not. It's a DX100. This is it right there. I don't want to bring it because I'm going to unplug his whole rig, but you know what? I can. This is the synth that P uses for the TalkBox. Right there. Okay.
All right. So
wait, I want to see what else they said.
away.
This
Bass
blah blah.
P6.
Every week, how do you choose where to put notes? Like, what intervals do you use? We just go by ear. We don't really think about it. Is that a banshee? Yes, it is.
Yes, it
is
is.
a banshee. How you choose where to put vocals? We just listen to it. We just listen to it and see how it feels. I'm sorry, I don't want usually more ideas at the time. Who usually has the most ideas at the time of composing a song? Oh my God, how are you guys? There's so many questions. Wait, one that I want to see. How are you guys routing MIDI? An interface?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's a great
it's
question.
two MIDI interfaces.
Yeah.
So basically, the studio is separated in 2. On this side is one interface, and on the other side is another interface.
When you say separated in 2P, you mean that like
There's 2 interfaces.
for each set of keyboards?
Yeah, 2 Mayo 10s,
Got it.
which is a great product for MIDI. It has 10 MIDI outs, so we have more than 20 synths, so that's just enough for what we have.
Thirsty.
And we route MIDI. That's what's great about Cubase too, is that you have your device set up here, and all your MIDI can be routed and named, so you don't have to look for your ports anytime ever.
Boring. Just kidding. I have no idea what he's talking about.
So right here you see this is a Mayo 10 left, then 1 in, 10, blah 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 blah. You can rename all of your ports activate, deactivate some of them. Ins and outs. And then when you come here, I hope they can see that.
They can see you, bro.
When you come here and you want to choose your MIDI in and out, you just go here. It's already pre-named, whatever you want to call it. There you go. Your list is here. And then I can control the mini Moog with the Jupiter 8 if I want to.
We were doing that yesterday.
Yeah. So that's another powerful thing about Cubase. It's really customizable. You can change all the names, all the ports, everything you want. Make it as you like it.
But I want to kind of emphasize the fact that when we did our first album, and even on Fancy Footwork, we only had like 5 synths.
Yeah.
And
it was easier to manage, of course.
but our thing was just like, if the sound feels good, you don't have to layer it with 25 things. You just like, I don't know. If it feels good and it has all the warmth you need, then you don't need to layer it 100 times. You just proceed.
Yeah.
So 6 feet away. I'm hot. Like 6 feet away. Okay, so now we're going to recall all the sounds on the MIDI. Oh, can we go to the other screen so we can see questions? Guys, you have a crazy story. What else are they saying? Oh, type. Keep asking us stuff. We're doing our best to answer as many as possible. P.S. We love y'all. Ever tried live drums? Yes. There's drums on Cabin Fever, actually, on that song. Cool. Shall we try this one?
Yeah.
So, what is this? Is this shot good? You think?
Yeah.
The angle's right. More or less.
Decent.
So, what P just did while I was rambling and putzing around over here is that P recalled all the synth patches on the, because we're changing from one session to the next. So P recalled all the different synth patches so we can play this new song.
Yeah, that's the only downfall, is that everything lives inside the synth, so you can't just open the session and go. You have to recall all the sounds, and if you're lucky enough, your synth can save patches.
Right.
If not, I take pictures and use this great program called Snapshot, which is amazing. You can take pictures as a plugin, and you add your images of whatever synth that you're using. You add it on the same track that the instrument is on. It's amazing.
Cool. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So that song, really, that one is an idea I came with, and I just had like this very, very, very basic, like 6 feet away, that's how I'm gonna love you from 6 feet. I mean, I had the whole thing written, but I didn't have the chords. So very often I will come in with a melody and P will kind of voice out my ideas and kind of, spell out the chords, and then we tweak the chords together until it sounds like what I had in my head, kind of.
And find sections.
And then make sections, yeah. So we started this one with, I had two things in my head. I had the fact that it should be all drum tracks, drum programming, no kind of like, how do we say this? No kind of samples, just drum machines. And then we had the chords. So we'll start with that. First thing was, I'm actually going to loop it. I'm going to loop the chorus real quick.
That's a good question.
What are they saying?
Yeah, Snapshot is free. Yes, it is.
Huh.
How long do they work on an idea or an arrangement until they reach a satisfactory result of the next phase? Depends. These were done quick.
Yeah.
This one was done really fast.
1 day, 2 days.
2 days. Some songs we spend months on, but you know.
These were very spontaneous, as you guys remember. So, very easy, 2 Juno chords. That's how I'm gonna love you from 6 feet away. I should probably put a clock. That's how I'm show you I care from 6 feet away. Sorry. That's how I'm gonna love you from 6 feet away. Okay. We, of course, did the Juno in MIDI. As you can see here, that's the MIDI for the Juno. Right? So if I play it by itself.
They flew back to LA. Not today. He flew back to LA last Friday.
And I got tested.
And he got tested before we got together.
All right, so Juno chords. P, that is the Juno 106, which is it? Would you say that's our favorite synth? I would say yes. It's up there at least.
It's up there.
It's the most versatile.
That's the one when people, some of you asked earlier, which synth do you recommend? That's the one we always recommend if you are starting, because it does basses, it does pads, it does leads, it does everything you want. It's very versatile, like they've said. You know, my personal favorite would be Prophet or something like that. But
On Fancy Footwork, we had the 106 on every song.
Fancy Footwork was the song. Fancy Footwork is pretty much 99% just Juno 106.
The song 100% is actually 100% Juno 106.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe Prophet too. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So on this one, we really went in on the drum tracks programming. So I'm going to put this one. And this is like the programming we did on this song, on this track is very, I would say, typical of what you would do on the drum tracks. Obviously, you guys hear the M2 Me reference or the Biggie Juicy reference. Same vibe.
I saw Ed Ross take the drum machine.
So here we go. You had the drum tracks, and this is the MIDI for it, all written out. That's usually something I do. Like when it's like we're together, I'll just start freaking the drum tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
And then P will be working on a synth patch. And the drum tracks does have velocities. So, for instance, I'll show you guys what I did.
Oh wait, just sample your analog gear and sit in our way. We did actually.
We did
have
it.
A splice pack up
That's
there.
right. That's the splice pack we did. So, see what I did here on the claps. Here. Instead of like getting a delay, I just wrote in the delay with velocities. That's one thing I love doing on this drum machine.
Whoever was watching the velocity thing before, these are the fake delays. Maybe velocity delays.
Yeah. And then, so we had the drum machine and we had the Juno. So it went like this. And I would say that's not very groovy. Did we put any effects on the Juno? Let's see. Vintage verb, EQ. That's it. Wasn't very groovy yet until P went on his trusted P6 with the patch number 16 and wrote a bass line, which goes, and that's also in MIDI, by the way. So look, I'm just going to show them the bass line here on MIDI. And then here it goes. Oops, sorry.
Fake delay is amazing.
Did we put any effects on the bass?
$0 delays.
Oh, wow. We did put a tal chorus on the bass. The tal chorus is fun. That's
Yeah.
one of the plugins we use a lot, not
Yeah.
going to lie to you.
Tal chorus is basically the chorus section of a Juno 106 or a Juno 60.
Hmm.
in a plugin form, and it just you put something mono in, and it gives you the automatic chorus, the great Juno chorus. You won't be able to hear today, but one of the tutorials I'll do a Juno with and without the chorus to let them hear what the difference is.
Well, actually, no, you can do it. Well, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be hard to hear, right? Okay.
Can't hear it. Once we have the system where we're direct in with the sound card on Twitch, you can hear in and out chorus on the Juno, and you'll see the
huge difference.
And
so,
that's the principle. That's the principle we use with Tal chorus.
Yeah.
It's literally you can add that Juno chorus to any synth.
Yep. Great plugin. We use that one sometimes. We cheat. So once we recorded all the drum tracks,
Spec is an absolute godsend. Yeah, check it out.
When we use the drum tracks, little EQ on the kick, little EQ on the snare, nothing on the hi-hat, little verb on the clap, nothing on the rim. Flat. You don't need anything if the sounds are good. Then your mix engineer will put a little compression, reverb. We actually have them dial back the compression very, very often because you don't need that much. All right, so here we go. Then it still wasn't really groovy, so we added some live bass.
Yeah, Tal chorus is free, yes. Here's a question. Is there no live bass on any of the tracks from the Quarantine Casanova EP?
There's live bass right here, baby. Listen, and then listen how they interact too. I think that's really important.
Just
that kind of
the live bass.
The syncopation between the live bass and the Prophet bass. I'm going to solo them so you guys can see sort of how they interact, because I think that's important. What else did we have? Well, we have, get back to our loop. P added some Wurlitzer. Should we plug that in to show them the sound a little bit? Beautiful synth. Beautiful keyboard, not a synth, sorry. Yeah, and that gives it like a really nice retro, warm, soulful thing. So. Then we added two little synth layers, the Prophet 5 once more, in MIDI, which is sound number 22. Is it loaded up, P?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's a little loud now, but we recorded it. Did we put any effects on there? Just reverb. That's it. What are we getting the live band from First Avenue asking the real question? Is that bass part slapped? Yes, it is slapped.
Yes.
All right, and then we added.
What's the best affordable Moog? You know what? The best affordable Moog right now, the modern one, is the Sub Fatty. It's really good. Great basses and great leads, 2 oscillators. It's amazing.
Prophet 5. Oh, and then you added the DX5 too, P, which is like those chimes. Do you have that loaded up? No, that's not that sound. Oh, that's it? There you go. That's it. And then we put in some guitar. With that one had effects. Yeah, look, we were trying to get a good chorus and we couldn't find one.
The Behringer Model D is great too, yes.
So we just went to the CLA. Can I show them?
Yep.
Yeah, we just went to the CLA, which is, I don't know, it's like a very go-to plugin for vocals and stuff. I personally don't really like it, but we just put a widening effect on the guitar, and it kind of sounded like a chorus, and that's what we needed. Just the Strat into a compressor into the CLA thing to get that sound, and then we added the vocoder. So let's plug in the vocoder.
Music Man bass.
Yes, Music Man bass. We have two basses. The same way we have two guitars, we have only two basses that we use. Either the Fender Jazz bass or the Music Man. That's it. So Fender Strat or Gibson Les Paul, Fender Jazz bass or Music Man bass. That's it. 4.
My internet keeps cutting off. Big piece of Behringer Model D. Yes, Behringer Model D. It's $300 small mini Moog. It's amazing.
Should we plug in the
You do need a
vocoder?
controller for it though.
Should we plug in the vocoder?
Sure, yeah.
Because that's always a fun thing. To get this thing. Hey. Oh, you on there already? I feel like we should bring the camera. Can we? Or no, it's plugged in. Shit.
I think
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We'll do it next time.
we could bring it closer.
How?
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, me too.
Oh, no, it'll be good.
Alright, you do it then.
Should talk to you with this all the time.
6 feet away, 6 feet away.
No,
6
that's not
feet
it.
away.
All right. Hopefully this HDMI cable is long enough.
Yes! Here, I'll hold it and you can demonstrate it. Here you go. So, I'll show you guys this vocoder. What up?
Pull on it.
Nope. Not moving. I just want them to see it.
Look at the screen there. 6 feet. 6 feet away. 6 feet away.
There you go.
6 feet away. You can hear a lot of my voice, but you have to be closer to the speakers so you don't hear my terrible voice. That's why I played the talk box, by the way. 6 feet away. 6 feet away. Get it closer. Just a little bit.
I don't want
Oh,
to.
that's it.
I don't want to. Okay, let's take you guys back and then plug you guys back in. So that was the vocoder. The vocoder. No, that's not hard. Okay. When it's all over, I won't miss this. Cool. Looks pretty good.
All right, we're back. There you go.
There you go. We're back. Oh, let's go to the other screen so we can make sure. Cool. All right. So on 6 feet away, P, I guess the difference between Clorox wipe and 6 feet away is that we have changes. That's not what. It's not a song that's like. It's not a song that's just a loop. It's got different sections, right? And we do these little markers up here. You know, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, just to make it really easy. Oh, and we did. Okay, so. Let's see. Let me do it section per section. So.
If Peter Frampton made the talk box popular, who made it cool? Roger.
Yes.
From 6 feet away, that's how I'm gonna show you I care. From 6 feet away, that's how I'm gonna love you. From 6 feet away, and I just hope you can hear me okay. I saw you at the grocery store, and I couldn't even say hi.
Really not that many sounds. Again,
What do you think about Bosco's Electrospit?
loves it.
I started the company with him.
I saw you at the grocery store, and I couldn't even say hi. I saw you in the
Do you have an approach the transitions between sections.
Yeah, whatever sounds good.
Yeah,
I mean,
here we're not math at all. We don't,
that
don't
song
use-
was. I was just singing it to you, and you were harmonizing
Yeah.
as I was singing it to you.
We don't use cold math when we're cold theory when we're writing. It's by ear really.
Look, I'll show you guys. Yep. No theory, no math, no science. This one sounded like this.
All right, Karen, to number 2. 6 feet away. That's how I'm gonna love you from 6 feet away.
That's literally how it started.
That's how I'm gonna
we
show
added the
you I
chords.
care 6 feet away. It's gonna be hard to touch you from 6 feet away.
Yeah.
I just hope you can see me out there 6 feet away.
That's it.
That's
A 2-minute voice. I think I even had the
how I'm gonna
I think I even wait.
love you 6 feet from 6 feet at your door.
Yeah, I even had the verses in there and everything.
I left flowers at your door, but
So that's it. That's just how it started. We had the whole thing already.
when it's over, I'm not gonna miss this. But for now, I'm
I hear you can really hear the bathroom. This is because I write
I don't think they can hear.
90% of my songs. 90% of my songs I write in the bathroom. So here you can use the bathroom. You can hear the bathroom echo.
when it's over, I'm not gonna miss this. But for now, I'm gonna go the distance. And when it's over, I'm not gonna miss this. But right now, I gotta go the distance and love you from 6 feet away.
That's it. That's how it started. Those were the sections, and that's kind of how we built the whole thing. And so yeah, there's different chords for different parts. Verse, pre.
When it's all over, I won't miss this. But right now, I'm gonna go the distance.
We added a little bell in the pre, which is an Elka. Oh, and a chord. Maybe we should show them the Elka. That's one of our favorite synths. Yes, you use the voice memo in the pocket. What kind of reverb on the voice memo? It's the bathroom. Yes, I use the bathroom preset. That's amazing. All right, cool. The Elka, one of our favorite synths that we use a lot right now.
Yeah.
What can we say about it? Italian.
Italian synth. It's
Italians do it better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great synth.
So, we added this in the pre. Little bell sound. Aha! On this Elka in the pre, we did do something that we very seldom do with Chromeo. And it's called a sidechain. Not gonna lie, we did a little sidechain. Light sidechain. Unusual. Rare.
I usually don't like that.
P doesn't like it.
It's okay. It serves its purpose.
It served its purpose. That's probably the most processed sound you're gonna hear out of everything we did today. We've got a tal chorus, we've got a sidechain, and we've got a reverb. That's kind of the most we'll ever put in plug-in wise, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of EQ in there too. And whoops. And that's kind of how it is. That's right. Is there anything else in there?
6 feet away. That's how I'm gonna love you from 6 feet away.
Oh yeah, we added little triangle sounds.
6 feet away.
So let's see how the drums
That's
sound.
where Splice came in handy.
Totally.
Triangles. Oh, okay. That's cool. We're gonna do Cabin Fever. The drums sound great on that song. Is it MIDI programming?
Nope,
It's
live.
We'll do that another day.
Yeah, we're gonna come back next week and do more. We'll do 2 more next week.
I can show you our control room too.
So there we have it. That's 6 feet away. Oh, and then we did that little. Wait, where is the bridge? I love that bridge. Extra layer of Elka with a side chain. I'm not usually down with that, but whatever.
Glasses on, you can't hear me when the mask is on. I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. Said I can't see without my glasses on.
First of all,
Oh yeah, we're gonna do Stay in Bed.
that was a little mini Moog lead. We should tell them that this thing was MIDI as well. That was not, we didn't play that. We don't know how to play that. That was all MIDI, right? When we did that.
Can't see without my
I actually did that
glasses
on MIDI. You can hear all the grit in it too. I love that bridge.
Can't see without my glasses on. You can't hear me when my mask is on.
And P did a really nice talk box sort of layer thing in there too. Let me play that, listen.
This pandemic has gone too far. I said I can't see you without my glasses on. You can't hear me when my mask is on. I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. Can't see you with.
I just want to loop this part.
Talk box gospel.
Talk box barbershop gospel. So nice. I just want to loop that part.
Can't see you without my glasses on. You can't hear me when my mask is on. I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. I said I can't see you.
Oh, we should talk about layering synths, which we sometimes do. For instance, you got that Juno sound here, right?
Can't see you without my glasses on.
And then we'll put some Elka on top to add a little bit of sheen.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of a plugin, actually. Sometimes
Yeah.
people would put like a Valhalla shimmer or something. We'd rather just another synth, another layer of analog. So together they're so much nicer.
I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. I said I can't see you without my glasses on. You can't hear me when my mask is on. I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. I said can't see you without my glasses on. You can't hear me when my mask is on. I panic if I'm not where you are. This pandemic has gone too far. I said I can't see you without my glasses on. You can't hear me.
How many sounds do we have in this song? You have, excluding the drums, we've got the bass, the live bass. We've
One
got-
Juno chord, one Elka chords in the pre.
Wait, bass, live bass. The Moog slide doesn't
Whirly.
barely count.
Like
The
four
Juno?
synth sounds. One whirly.
The Whirly, the P5, the other P5. No, the P5, the DX5, the Mini Moog, the Elka. Okay,
I mean, some of them don't really count. They're just sprinkles. Like
the guitar.
it's-
There's about yeah, but there's about 10 tracks of music, 10 sounds, and then your drums.
Yeah.
So still fairly minimal, I would say. Yeah, and there we go. Shall we take some questions? Wait, I'm gonna create a little loop that's gonna sound good to take questions too.
6 feet away.
Whoa! All right, of course. not the smoothest loop because that thing doesn't start on the 1. So I'm going to do another loop. Let me go here instead. There we go. What's the what they said?
That's the little sample that plays at the end of the
Oh,
song.
the psh. They want to know about the static sound. We don't have it in here. We put that at the end of every song on the CP because it's a reference to like all the old West Coast records, the Snoop and Dre records all had that at the end.
Teach us how you utilize the pitch bend wheel for synth hits or lead trills. Oh, shit. Gotta focus.
You could do some there. Wait, hold on, I'll turn you up.
Well, the simplest way is
While you do that, P, I'm gonna program a new drum part so that they can see how we do it live, and you can just answer
so if
questions.
if you want to use the pitch bend and the modulation, just make sure your bend is one tone up in one tone increments, and then if you're within your key, then you can just go between your modulation and your pitch.
Nice.
And then
Take questions. Ooh.
yeah, it's really simple. You wanna have your modulation control the pitch and not the filter. It's a nice wobble. Teddy Riley thing too, where you make a modulation with your pitch bend instead of the modulation.
Huh. I'm playing with the velocity now to get it just right. It's out loud. Take more questions, P.
The MIDI controller as my first musical thingy to make music for some lyrics I wrote. Do I need something else? Nope. Just a controller, USB controller, put it in your computer. A lot of free plugins out there, free virtual instruments. That's how you start. It's weird that my rabbit likes your song. We make music for everybody and everything.
tool this is? Can they see that?
Yeah.
Whoa. Cool.
It's pretty much how we work, actually.
Cool. And then we'll do. Ah. Where's the shaker? Ah, got it, got it. I don't like that. I'll put the snare back here. And this back here.
Great Mary to the Maroon 5. Thank you. Can you make a synthesis lesson? Yes.
Damn right.
Yes. That's coming.
Alright, so that was like a little alternate drum programming that we can use on this part. And then we just loop it.
Why the DX100? Very similar to my process with my partner in funk, www.swerve.com. Respect that. Can you guys make another tutorial on making a song from scratch?
Yes, we're kind of doing it now.
This was a drum tracks, sequential circuits drum tracks.
Tutorial?
No, he's asking.
Oh,
what
the
drum
drums,
machine is.
right.
We still have the project. Yes,
For yours again, we have everything.
actually we do. Coming later in the Pentium 2 tutorial. It is a big one.
guitar is plugged straight in. Well, there's a preamp.
Good question. Julie's working.
All right. We good?
Right, what else we talk about?
All right, y'all. That was fun. That was very fun. Maybe we shall come back next week. Basically, we walked you guys through Clorox Wipe, 6 feet away. The songs are so simple that we really could have done this in 1 hour.
It's cool.
But it's fun. Thank you for joining
Yes,
us.
please. It's be no
Mwah.
problem.
Bye-bye.
Maybe you shall. Yes.
Should we come back next week? We come back next week. Pete,
Yes, please.
should we come back next week? Yes
I'm
or no?
waiting for at least 17 yeses.
17 yeses
All right.
now, and we will
Oh,
come
that
back
was
next
fast.
week. 17 yeses.
Bonsoir, les boys.
Bye bye, bonjour.
Salut.
17.
That's it.
17.
Got 440, 54.
All right, guys. We will come back next week to discuss Stay in Bed.
Stay in bed.
And Roni's got me stressed out.
Yeah.
And I think what I would love to do is once we're done with the Roni EP, we should pick random songs from our catalog and do
Or
the
let
same
them
thing. Or let them pick, yeah. And actually, you know what we're going to do? We're also going to put the stems to those two songs up on Discord in a couple of days. And you guys can have a go at it and remix them and play around with them. And also steal the sounds. We put all the drum sounds, steal the kicks, steal the snares, make your own kick, make your own kit, and have fun with it.
Which you can also do from our Splice pack.
That's right. All right, y'all. Bye-bye. We got work to do. How do we log out of this thing?
Alright.
Oh. Okay. Stop.